All right, folks, Operation Choke Point continues, and this time the SEC is attacking DeFi, with Uniswap being served a Wells notice, potential litigation looming, and I'm going to break down in this video. Unfortunately, I know many people don't want to talk about this, and I know some people are going to check out of this video because what I'm about to tell you is that I actually think that the SEC is going to be able to hang them up on a couple points. And I'm going to break that down here in this video for you guys. So I'm not here to FUD this project. You guys know all we ever wanted in the XRP community was a level playing field. But just remember how they treated us, right? When Ripple got sued, when the XRP community was caught up in this lawsuit, they kicked on us, they picked on us, they made fun of us, and they still are, despite the fact that we've actually won in the courts and we now have clarity. Now, I don't say this to say, hey, you know, everything's all right for us, the rest of the space can get screwed. I want to be very clear that that is not the point I'm trying to make in this video. I want to explain the difference, though, between the XRP Ledger automated market maker and then the AMM, which is a series of smart contract protocols that makes up Uniswap. I'm going to explain the difference and why I think the SEC might be able to hang them up. And here's the deal. If the SEC has a case or not, they're going to file it and they can hang you up for years and cost you hundreds of millions of dollars, just like we saw in the Ripple lawsuit. So this is not good news for Uniswap, not good news for the cryptocurrency space. XRP community can sleep soundly at night, but the rest of the space needs to understand what I'm about to break down in this video. Before we get to that, I've got just a couple data points that I wanted to share with you. So yesterday, James O'Keefe dropped this, and this is the Federal Reserve with a hidden camera capturing principal economists from the Federal Reserve talking about Jerome Powell's legacy, quote, somebody who held the line against Trump, the influential agency responsible for maintaining a stable monetary system appears to not just be about establishing interest rates, but to be settling policies for desired social outcomes. Quote, under Powell, the Fed has changed to think about equity issues like racial issues, think about wealth inequality as part of the mandate, as part of the things we are following, think about climate change. And this is from Arul Hismo, principal economist at the Federal Reserve. And guys, this was pretty incredible. James O'Keefe actually shared this with us yesterday while he hosted a Twitter space with our good friend Steven Narioff, where they talked about ETHgate once again. And I was listening to that Twitter space. I wish that they would have given more airtime to Steven and to go over ETHgate, but he kind of included this all together with the Federal Reserve capturing this undercover camera operation that, James O'Keefe does so well with his investigative journalism. Got to give him respect in that regard. But I don't think that he and his team understand how big of a deal the ETHgate story is. As I've simply broke it down, right? It's about the damages done to the XRP community. The second part is the profit that they made from the ETH free pass. And then the third part in the broader conversation is around the regulatory capture of our capital markets, not just crypto. We know they're coming after that. We're going to be talking about that in this video right here. But it's about the broader regulatory capture of our capital markets. And we're talking about a bigger bureaucracy beast problem that we have here in the United States of America. And that's why I love what he's exposing with the Federal Reserve. We know that the Federal Reserve, although they try to not be political, right? They definitely kind of sway in the wind a little bit there, don't they? Nonetheless, their policies have failed. As I continue to ask, right, how's your program working out? The program for the Federal Reserve, not working out for middle class and the poor of America, but what we've come to find out and learn, is that this is all part of their plan, right? They're not stupid. Their program is working out exactly how they want it to. It just happens to be rug pulling Main Street economy, Main Street America. And as this guy's saying right here too, they're actually going against the likes of President Trump as well. Which, whether you like Trump or not, it's all about having a fair level playing field that we continue to bring up here, what we continue to fight for, right? And so, nonetheless, I love to see James O'Keefe getting Steven Narioff back on there to share that story. ETHgate going viral with the likes of Alan Dershowitz, huge, world-renowned lawyer, well, at least here in the United States, maybe not world-renowned, but probably world-renowned, because Alan Dershowitz is very well-known. And he's actually kind of being an advisor to Steven Narioff on the lawsuit that Steven has filed. And so I love to see it. I love to see that getting exposed. Although we're covering the fact that the SEC is continuing with Operation Choke Point, we have guys like Steven Narioff that are actually going back and they're making their moves against the SEC and the other, government agencies that basically violated Steven's rights. So I love to see it. I wish that Steven got some more airtime, but nonetheless, we are making progress. And remember, those folks that said that we need to shut up about ETHgate, we need to give it up, we're just salty XRP holders. No, we want to save our country, and we're going to be on the right side of history. And the folks that told us to sit down and shut up, they're looking pretty foolish right now, aren't they? Now, continuing on, I want to share how Ripple just continues to set the standard, and you don't see any other cryptocurrency project getting highlighted like this by the likes of the Digital Pound Foundation. In this article here, they're going over Ripple's new stablecoin, talking about how it'll be pegged 1-to-1 to the US dollar, issued on the XRP ledger and Ethereum, leveraging XRPL native functionalities and ERC20 token standards. And, once again, shining the spotlight on Ripple and XRP. And I tell you what, folks, we're about to have the spotlight shined on us like never before. Not only have we got major breakthroughs on the legal battlefield, right? Now we have the stablecoin, which is going to bring more liquidity to our ecosystem. And unfortunately, this isn't how I wanted it to be. I didn't want it to be this way. I don't want these other projects to be attacked or, our government assault them. But this is the path that they've chosen, and it just so happens to be that the XRP ledger, I believe, is in the clear, and the automated market maker for the XRP ledger is in the clear as far as not being an investment contract and us not having to worry about the SEC being able to come after us for our AMM versus Uniswap and their AMM. Now, I'm going to explain and break this down here real quick for you guys. So this is from Hayden.eth, who is the inventor of the Uniswap protocol, saying that he is not surprised, just annoyed, disappointed, and ready to fight. Now, I did like the statement that he made. It was very strong. They've surpassed 2 trillion in volume. That's very great. Many thousands of teams and developers have forked our code or built on top of it. It is an open source protocol. It is an open source smart contract, right? But I'm going to break this down for you guys, right? And I'm glad to see that he says he's willing to put up the fight. It may go to the Supreme Court. He says, I think that freedom is worth fighting for. I think DeFi is worth fighting for. And that's great. But he acknowledges that this fight will take years, may go all the way to the Supreme Court. And that's the problem that we've highlighted, right? We don't agree with the SEC. I'd like to see a safe harbor for folks to come into the compliance that are trying to do the right thing. There are definitely people that are violating the securities laws, and there should be no safe harbor. It's just very clear you're breaking the law. But for those that are trying to be in compliance, trying to come in and talk to the SEC, I like the idea of some sort of safe harbor, come into compliance while we are settling matters in these gray areas, which is exactly what this case is going to be about. Now, they've been served a Wells notice. It's not the official lawsuit has been filed yet, but usually this is the precursor, and it looks like they're going to fight. They're not going to change their ways, and so it looks like a SEC lawsuit is going to be imminent. Now, I want to explain the difference, though, here between the XRP Ledger AMM and Uniswap. So with the XRP Ledger AMM, this is built in to the layer 1 protocol that is the XRP Ledger. The AMM is built into it. This is not a smart contract. It is just now part of the decentralized exchange that is built into the XRP Ledger. So it's at the protocol level. It's completely decentralized. Nobody controls it. Nobody can stop it. It exists at the protocol level. Now, to contrast, for Uniswap, it is a layer 2 built on top of Ethereum, and it is a series of protocols, smart contracts, that make up this AMM. Okay, so instead of being at the protocol level, this is at the layer 2, and it's basically a smart contract that they've created to facilitate this automated market maker. Now, if you look here, this is the Uniswap overview. So you have the protocol, the interface, and the labs. Uniswap Labs is the company which developed the Uniswap protocol along with the web interface. Now, this is the difference with the XRP Ledger automated market maker. You have all of the web interfaces, or basically, the different interfaces for the XRP Ledger AMM, and that's XRP Markets. We have Anados Finance. We have a few others, right? And those are the interfaces. But the protocol, right, the smart contract, well, there is no smart contract for the AMM on the XRP ledger. It is just built into the native protocol, the layer 1. Whereas the Uniswap protocol is a suite of persistent, non-upgradable smart contracts that together create an automated market maker, a protocol that facilitates peer-to-peer market making and swapping of ERC20 tokens on the Ethereum blockchain. The Uniswap interface is a web interface that allows for easy interaction with the Uniswap protocol. The interface is only one of many ways one may interact with the Uniswap protocol. So this is what we have on the XRP ledger AMM, is we have a bunch of interfaces that allow us to tap in to the AMM built into the XRP ledger. So it's similar, but basically you have smart contracts that are not at the native layer 1 protocol level for the Uniswap AMM. That's the key difference. Now, they also have Uniswap governance, which is a governance system for governing the Uniswap protocol enabled by the Uni token. Okay. So here are the two things that I think the SEC may be going after them for. One is that governance token, right? They could suggest that the governance token in and of itself is an investment contract, right? That I think is far-fetched. The expectation of profit, who does it come from? You're kind of putting forth your own effort. You're making your own votes. It has utility, right? And so I think that that's a tough case for them to make. The second part of this, though, is that smart contract, right? This is not something that's built in at the protocol level. This is an additional smart contract that they created, that they have control over, right? I guess it is decentralized in some aspect. It has the governance token now. So to what extent it is decentralized, I'm not even going to get into that. Whether it's decentralized or not, I don't think it's going to matter for the SEC's case. I think that they're going to be able to point to that contract and they're going to say, you have a smart contract here that we have determined, we believe, is an investment contract, because what are we doing? Just as it says in the Howey test, right? Consists of 4 criteria. An investment of money, we have that. With the expectation of profits, we have that. With a common enterprise, we do have that, right? Everybody's pooling their money together in this protocol so that we can get out our profit. And the reliance on the efforts of others. Here's where it gets interesting, and here's where I think I've brought up this in regards to staking. I don't believe that staking in and of itself is an investment contract, because you are putting forth your own effort. You are staking, you are putting up your assets into a validator, into a node, into a pool, so that it can validate the transactions and spit you out the reward, spit you out the profit. So you are putting forth your own effort. Now, staking as a service, that's the reliance on somebody else to do the staking for you. That, I believe, is an investment contract. Now, the one discrepancy here is, do you have full and complete reliance on the efforts of others at this, Uniswap protocol level? When you are putting your assets to work, you're putting forth your effort. The protocol really is doing it itself, right? And that's where we're in the gray area, right? Are you putting forth that effort, or are you simply just making the investment, and then the protocol, right, is going to spit you out that return, and the protocol itself is a smart contract that is the investment contract. So this, as you can see, this is getting really into the technical nuance on this conversation as far as when something is or isn't an investment contract. Now, like I said at the very beginning, I don't agree with the move here by the SEC to just be filing these lawsuits. I think that the SEC only should be filing lawsuits against cases that are very clear cut and dry. When it comes to gray areas like this, it's like, let's just be reasonable, right? Go to get clarity from Congress, have Congress set some rules, right? I think that it's just irresponsible. It's corrupt as hell for the SEC to continue filing these lawsuits and going after these companies. And now they're going after a protocol, right? And is it a surprise? No. Just like the gentleman said, the creator of the protocol here, Uniswap, he's not surprised. Neither are we, right? Nobody here is surprised that the SEC continues to launch this Operation Chokepoint. The problem is that I think that they have is that you have basically an additional layer. You have the smart contracts on top of Ethereum. This is a layer 2 solution on top of Ethereum. And those smart contracts in and of themselves may embody the Howey test and an investment contract. This is what they're going to be fighting. And I'm just thankful that when you contrast this with the XRP Ledger AMM, we have this built into the layer 1 protocol. This is built into the decentralized exchange, which is very clear. It's decentralized. Nobody controls it. Nobody created it. The validators have, I guess, the validators have added it, right? But no one's in control of it. There is no governance token. There are liquidity pool tokens, I guess, and you do get the ability to kind of vote on fees, right? So, we're really getting into it on these cases that the SEC wants to file. And the bad news, right, is that regardless of whether or not they're going to win, the SEC is funded by our government and our tax dollars. And so they get to continue just running around filing these lawsuits. And it's up to these private companies and entrepreneurs and capitalists that should be able to dedicate all their time, energy, and resources to building out these protocols. I mean, huge shout out to what they've built at Uniswap. I think that we need to strive to achieve something similar with the XRP Ledger AMM, right? If we could even get half of what Uniswap's doing, that would be great. I think that we have the potential to actually surpass what they're doing, right? I think that the AMM on the XRP Ledger can do a lot better. But nonetheless, I don't want us to be surpassing Uniswap based off the fact that they've been wiped out by the SEC, a company that's based out of America. He even said in his post that they chose to stay in New York because they feel like what they're doing is bringing value to people. It should. They have nothing to hide. And that's how I like to run my businesses. That's how I like to operate, right? And it's just so unfortunate that we have another company here that's being attacked by the SEC. And if they're able to win this case, if they're able to make this argument, it really is going to open up a lot more of the space. I do believe, though, that we have that difference between the XRP Ledger AMM and what we have over here with a layer 2 smart contract. That smart contract, I think, is the key difference. It's just a matter of whether the judge is going to agree. Does it embody an investment contract in and of itself? You guys let me know in the comments down below. Let's continue to put up this fight here in the United States of America to rein back in our SEC, to get them to calm down here with Operation Choke Point. But I'll tell you that I will be sleeping peacefully at night knowing that XRP in and of itself is not a security and that the AMM is built in at the protocol level. And we do, by the time you guys are going to be watching this, we're probably going to be having the AMM, basically the fix is going to be implemented once again. So, technically speaking, the AMM has been live this whole time, right? But we were waiting for a fix to be implemented. The fix goes live here in the next 12 hours. And then we're going to be back to trading on the AMM once again. So make sure you guys subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'm going to be dropping in another video here titled How to XRP AMM. And I'm going to try to simplify this and make sure that we can show everybody how to access these interfaces for participating in the XRP Ledger AMM. And we also want to go over the risks that everybody should be well aware of before we go make any investments. And as always, I'm not here to give you financial advice, legal or tax advice either, okay? But if you do appreciate our content, it does really help us when you smash that thumbs up for us, share it out far and wide, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned for more. God bless you all. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.